disoriented for a moment before gathering my bearings. I'm in bed, upstairs, in my house. It is still dark outside. A full moon hangs in the sky, casting a silver glow. Feeling troubled, I look at the digital alarm clock and see that it's just after 1 in the morning. Something had woken me up. What? A dream? Perhaps an intuition of danger? While I am still pondering the question, there is a sound downstairs that immediately raises the hairs on my neck, puts me on edge. Footsteps creaking across the floor. Ordinarily, it's a sound I wouldn't spare a second thought to, but I'm supposed to be alone in the house. Jake and Diana are gone for a week on vacation and left me here by myself. They're not supposed to be back for another 4 days. Did they return early? I hold my breath and listen intently, telling myself not to jump to conclusions, not to overreact. It could be a friend or a neighbor stopping by to check in. But who would come by at such an inappropriate time, in the dead of night? The footsteps creak across the floor, slowly and cautiously, in a manner that suggests an attempt at stealth. An intruder. My heart begins to race. I remember seeing on the TV news that lately there had been a rash of burglaries in the area. Getting out of bed, I sneak quietly to the large walk-in closet, gingerly open the door, and slip inside, inching the door closed behind me slowly to prevent any creaks. I hide behind the hanging clothes and wait. I listen. I hear the footsteps moving back and forth throughout the downstairs. An eternity seems to pass in the dark. Then I hear the sound I have been anticipating. The creaking of the risers. They're coming upstairs. The footsteps head down the hallway, stopping systematically at each door on the way. I hear them enter the other rooms one by one and rummage around for a while before moving on. Jake's study, the bathroom, the guest room, until there is only one place left for them to look. The last room at the end of the hall. Jake and Diana's room. This room. I hear the doorknob turning and the door opening. The footsteps enter. The intruder takes their time searching through the room, opening the drawers of the dressers and the nightstand, rifling through their contents. Then they seem to pause, and for a moment there is silence. I wonder if maybe they've gotten what they were looking for and are about to leave. Then the beam of a flashlight is shined on the closet, filling the slots in the louvered door. I cringe back, pressing my back against the rear wall, as the footsteps approach in the direction of my hiding place. I brace myself for the inevitable. The closet door is pulled open. The intruder racks aside the hanging clothes, the hangers rattling on the rod. He is young and thin, with hollowed cheeks, sunken eyes, and unkempt hair, dressed in black and clutching a bulging pillowcase in the hand not holding the flashlight. For a second, we face each other in silence. Then his initial surprise at discovering me gives way to horror as he takes in my shriveled, desiccated face, decayed skin stretched tightly to my skull, the few remaining strands of dark hair clinging to my peeling scalp, the empty cavity where my nose once sat, and my lipless, grinning mouth, and my sunken red eyes. He opens his mouth to scream, but before he can utter a sound, I seize him in my thin, skeletal arms and pull him to me, sinking my teeth into his jugular and sucking, draining, feeding. He thrashes against me violently, but despite my frail appearance, I am still quite strong. Soon he weakens and his struggles cease. He goes limp in my arms. I feel his warm blood coursing through my withered veins. Feel my body filling out and becoming whole once more as his life fluid rejuvenates me, reinvigorates me. And even as I heal, I feel his body shriveling, drying out, pulling in on itself. I release the empty husk and sigh, satisfied. I smile thinly at what remains of the intruder, then glance at the full-length mirror on the other side of the room. Seeing in its reflection, so much of the old legend is based on pure foolishness. The handsome features of the strong, robust man I once was, and am now again. For a little while, at least. In a way, I am grateful to the intruder. He saved me the trouble of having to go out and hunt tomorrow night. Pick up the pillowcase containing Jake and Diana's possessions and carefully return them to their proper places throughout the house, straightening up the mess he made. In the kitchen, I see he slit a door, which I neglected to lock after my hunt earlier this evening. I scold myself for being so careless as I turn the deadbolt. Then I return upstairs, gather up the remains of the intruder, now as light as a sack of feathers, and carry it into the hallway. I lower the attic trapdoor and bring the body up, opening the concealed door to the hidden room that contains my coffin, and place the corpse in the far corner. I look at my coffin with a sense of regret, knowing that in a few days Jake and Diana will return from their vacation and I will have to retreat to my hiding place above their room. It was only luck that their vacation happened to coincide with my feeding cycle this month. I enjoy having the run of their house while they're away, although it was foolish of me to take a nap in their bedroom. It's not that I have to fear the sunlight. Again, so much superstitious foolishness, but suppose they did come home earlier during the day and discover me lying in their bed when I am at my weakest and most vulnerable. I guess I just wanted to feel like a mortal once more and enjoy the simple, long-lost pleasure of slumbering in a real bed. I feel well rested from my nap and revitalized from my meal. It's still a few hours before sunrise, so I go back downstairs to watch some TV, marveling at the wonders of this technological age as I do so, before I have to go back to sleep.